All mothers and beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering, and safely always to reach them in the still ones of us, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. O Mother Sentient Beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May the experience of happiness be separate from suffering and safely. Always to reach them in the still ones of us, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dala dong zibe dran, no bar zibe ge. Torba dang dam je jembe barde ju bar zeba dam je zo zebe. Manam ga dan yambe zemje dam je dewa dan de. Dong hara dang jar nyor de lana me ba yang da bar zo be zan jo rumbo je. To bar sa. Thus, unto achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Unto death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From no until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the Kandaru Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in the order exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excelling order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas and Dakinis and the Dhamma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and the likewise and the example of the Bodhisattvas. As far as Buddhas invested in enlightened mind and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, I true for the benefit of our sentient beings, giving birth to Bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge under enlightenment reached by the merit of generosity and other good deeds. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of our sentient beings. May all Mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faith for mind to all Tathangatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reached the Tathangata state, those who are reaching it at the present, and those Tathangata state to come. Through the power of Samadhabhara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest within my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows, pure flowers, flower garlands, or music, anointing oils, manifesting light and fragrant incense. I make offering to them of fine garments and the perfume and the pure high as moon, meru, and orange in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to Buddhas and make offering to them following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all Buddhas and the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattvas and the Pakshika Buddhas. Those who have already reached Aharasha, those who have entered the path of Aharasha and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the highest way of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intend to pass into Parinirvana to living long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of our sentient beings, or this dedicate. The ground is sprinkling with the scented water and the strewn with the flowers. It is adorned with the Meru, the spring mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As Buddha fell for it, May all sentient beings attain the happiness as the Buddha feels. To the Lama who possesses the Trikayas, I offer order in order the sacred offerings, with my body, word, and all that is visible. Please grant me supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all these are dedicated. Om Guru Rena Mandala Punza Manga Samanda Savaran Samaya Hong. I call refuge on the name of the world. Your fame provides the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor of Arjadara, without doubt. I bow at the feet of Father Jiti Sungo. Continually I think with no one but you. Compassion one grant your blessings. Despair darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unlimited nature of mind. Please stand aware of the Dharma, of the two vehicles and the combination, according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of two words, and perceive the various of types of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, who holds the wisdom takes at his heart, he has a compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara, as a father for only son. Like a thunderclaps, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branch of Haramani's speech. He wears the sphere through the card settling of suffering and to dispel darkness of my confusion. In the Buddhist hour form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, magician, adorned by 112 sons of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazo Node, 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 Om Arabazo. Arabazan Odeon, Arabazan Odeon, Arabazan Odeon, Arabazan Odeon, Arabazan Odeon, Arabazan Odeon, Wange Shoromo, Wange Shoromo, Wange Shorom, Wange Shoromo, Wange Shoromo, Wange Shoromo. You who are the perfect, beautiful body, whose flame of wisdom blazes, and dispel darkness of worldly ignorance, I pause before you and press to my Joshere. You ne gelen Wai Bo, Yi Xie Zhou Me Rab De Bar, Ji De De Mo Me Zar Wa, Jiang Ba Yang La Zang Zar Du. Tanghe doje yaje rezen chong yin je me do de je bong jong ba ser je len bo da wer je be ge yaje jar be ya la zo wan de tor je jang jen de lo na ro da mar ba me lai je je gan bo ba ha mo zhe ba yer wan di gong be Kaje lama na lai zorwan de rome je yen je bo zhang de de song san je gen je ngo wo nye ran sen ji ge ngo zong dong ze be sa ve la me ya la zorwan de. Good morning. So today teaching topic is daily sadhana, daily prayer and practice. Very easy one. But also very important for us, right? We have to practice every day. So that's why we have to know this sadhana, and also we need transmission too. We focus other teachings a lot, but we forget this teaching. We forget what we need, close one, right? We look far away, but we don't see the very close for us something, what we need. So that's why today sharing with you this sadhana. Today and tomorrow, I'm going to do transmission and then share also some part of sections. Then also, if you have questions, we can discussion, too. This practice, this daily practice sadhana. So first I share some teaching, then do the end of the transmission, because some people coming in and they want me to do again. So that's why we share teaching this one. Is this teaching is that not difficulty, very simple, easy actually, because you have already other many teachings, especially generation stage teaching in the stage of meditation book. So the generation stage teaching actually covers this whole sadhana, everything. Today we go to like page 2, maybe first, the Buddha visualization. So we have the refuge and the four measurable beginning. Then today is go to this first Buddha Shakyamuni Sadhana, page 2. So this first this visualization. Here talk about unborn emptiness and unceasing appearance of dependent arising are the way of illusory unity. So that is the hardest one. I have many questions from EDG. I have tried to explain this, verses, sentence, but I'm also lost too. When I read Tibetan, then I understand it's what main point, essence. But when I go to try to explain, then it's very hard to explain, because this sentence meaning is too profound. And that sentence actually bring all this interdependence, everything interdependent. So interdependent then goes more deeper teaching is Mayaminka teaching. So go into Buddhist philosophy. I share with you many times, like study Buddhist philosophy takes years and years. So, and that's why this short sentence not give easily explain to you, because it's so much profound and have to explain too much, lot to explain. The point is here is is usually we talk about means unborn dharma dharma, unborn dharma dharma. So supplication Tara beginning unborn dharma dharma. Is also is unborn dharma dharma too. So then unborn emptiness and unceasingly appearance of dependent arising are the way of illusory unity. This all actually unborn emptiness. We not talking about the relatively birth. Relatively, we have a birth because we have a parents. We have a birth. We have a living. We have a death. That's just relatively and temporarily we see that. But you really investigate that, look more deeper, then you cannot find the birth. So then it's go up to absolute true, like absolutely we don't have a birth. That's why it's called unborn emptiness. Our perception, we have to follow by relative truth and absolute truth, two levels. The high level, this practitioner realizes, then they don't create a separate relative truth and absolute truth. There's only one truth. So it's absolute truth. That's, when you also meditate, you really into your nature states, mind, then that mind is never have a birth and never have a death. So that is absolutely, we don't have a birth and a death. But temporarily, relatively, our perception will have a birth and a death. So here is talking about unborn emptiness means truly we don't have a birth. The birth is a philosophy, Mayamika teaching, investigating. How can take birth? You really cannot find a birth. Everything is interdependent. So interdependent is emptiness. Because interdependent means like no exist. Truly no exist, no inherently exist. So that's why emptiness but this even emptiness means no nothingness. So you have to recognize that. Usually we think emptiness means is nothingness. Yeah, because that's easily the words bring our mind right with empty means like nothing. So we don't have the correct words to explain the emptiness. Kind of like truly no existing or no inherently existing, something like that. That's why it's when we study Mayamika philosophy, so talk about interdependent, then you right away you have a kind of a certainty understanding emptiness. Without this background Mayamika logics, very hard to understand emptiness. The point is emptiness, what means. So that's why we have to study very deeper level Mayamika teaching, and then you understanding what means emptiness. Emptiness means no nothingness. Emptiness is become interdependent. Emptiness, everything is emptiness. That's why it's all its form is arising. There is beautiful logics, very beautiful logics when this Nagarjuna debating with other schools. He debating with, of course, a Buddhist school, Chittamataran, and Vibhashika, Satantrika, then also 360 different non-Buddhist religions. And they're all other religions accepting exist something. So then Nagarjuna saying nothing is exist, everything is emptiness. If something exists permanently, then cannot be this arise phenomena for us. The point is like here is appearance is dependently arising. Why is this dependently arising? Because it's emptiness. If something permanently inherently exists, then no possible this appearance of dependence is arising. So no, this appearance of dependence arising, that is emptiness. Emptiness is dependently arising. So they have lots of debating. Even the Buddhist school Shavaka, Vibhashikas, their thing, Nagarjuna is nihilism. So they're pointing, you are nihilism, your teaching is not Buddhist teaching. Buddha talk about cause and effect. So you talk about everything emptiness. So then that is against the Buddha's teaching. So that's why this Vibhashika Sattandrika very strongly against Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna said no, because everything is interdependent. That's why we have a cause and effect. If everything is not interdependent, something is a permanent, then not possible have a cause and effect. Cause and effect means also this dependent, interdependent. Because interdependent means we have to create, interdependently. If the permanent, we cannot create. So we create something is dependent. That dependent is also interdependent is emptiness. So that's why this is verses is like verses or this sentence is very profound. Not easy to one verses to explain. The point is we have to go back to all the Mayamika logics. Is then we're going to stuck there. I'm also going to lost too. When we share this Mayamika teaching, first going to share is like have to if we have that class. If I have that class, I have going to study like couple of days first, read different commentaries, then going to share. So that's what we do in the Sheda. When Khenpo is ready to share the teaching, the elites need their own study, like what they're going to share the day, like elites like couple of hours to read all different commentaries and bring in the mind. Otherwise when you're ready to share, even you know a little bit, but when you're ready to share, you're going to lost. So that's why no easy the part, because it's a very subtle level. Going to the logic is going to very subtle level. Using very hard to explain. That's why this session is not easy. The point is very simple. We're here explain, because everything is unborn emptiness. Reason is interdependent. That's why interdependently everything is arising. So then before me discuss it, Buddha Shakyamuni also we can visualize in front of us, because it's interdependent. It's emptiness, unborn. That's why we can unceasingly appearance, like dependently we can arising Buddha Shakyamuni form in front of us. So when we visualize Buddha Shakyamuni form, if Buddha exists permanent, we cannot visualize. So we can visualize Buddha Shakyamuni form in front of us. He be with us because it's unborn emptiness. First is he truly not exist permanently. That's why we have this possible. Secondly, all these conditions dependent, so many cause conditions dependent. So that's why we can visualize Buddha in front of us. Then visualize Buddha. So this part is going to cover also Zambala, Achi, other sadhanas too. We visualize all these sadhanas, follow the visualizing. Here is we visualize Buddha in front of us. So then the visualize is the talk about three aspects, three special quality explained. So three aspect is first we visualize very clearly Buddha in front of us. That's why we need this tanka and this kind of image, look closely again. And when you chant this, then Buddha is just front of us, effort to like you mentally recreate that. So that really helps, like power of objects. When we chant this prayer, we need the power of object. Also, this prayer is the follow, we talk about shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation, we use really sometimes we use special objects. So focus with a special object. No, we visualize Buddha Shakyamuni in front of us. So then mind resting with that. That is also shamatha, using special objects. So using special object is not different than generation stage. So when we practice generation, this Yadam deity practice, visualize the Buddhas, in front of us or ourselves is Buddha, we visualize. So shamatha meditation also we visualize the Buddha in front of us. So then when we visualize the Buddha, Shakyamuni in front of us, just we need like the point is devotion. Without the devotion, even shamatha meditation, using Buddha's image cannot be special, become without the devotion, then it's become ordinary objects. So special object is we have to create because through our devotion. Special object means like when you see this Buddha's image, visualize, you feel connection, feel happy, and feel like kind of something special, connection with something you feel blessing. So that kind of we have to create that feeling. That's all is actually come from our devotion, and then also of course like enlightened beings blessing. This here says also interdependent means like so many connections dependent, not only one permanent source there. So we have to create this all many conditions, causes conditions. Then you visualize Buddha. So when Buddha is appeared in your mind, so your mind is kind of more peace, joy, and happy. So we have to connect with that more often and often, used to. So that is called this visualization generation stage. And that what that helps, the visualization, the Buddha in front of us, what that helps, the point is remove this samsara's cause, like kind of samsara is come from the impure perception. Samsara causes impure perception. We create always that because our mind, first, like we are ordinary person, and then all these perceptions, ordinary perception, impure perception. So we create that perception is strong and strong. That is the causes of samsara. So now you visualize Buddha's form, and this samsara, like impure perception, is removed, transforming. We create, enlightened body. We create enlightened speech. We create enlightened mind. Visualizing Buddha in front of us is, the power benefits is. So that is the true benefit. Temporarily benefit also when you long as you have a devotion, when you visualize the Buddha Shakyamuni in front of you, so that helps actually release your thoughts and emotions and negative feelings, whatever you have. So that also you can release too, right over there. So it's a kind of like, visualization is cut through too. Cut through means like this impure perception is cut. Yeah. And then negative feeling is cutting. The create samsara cause is cutting. Then that's all like negative part is all removing, cutting through. Then create all these enlightening qualities too. So that's why it's visualized is very powerful too. So we visualize often the Buddha's form. We create all enlightening body, speech, mind. So that if you become used to that, then we call them, Yadam deity practitioners. When they have something, worldly samsaric perception going on for them, is right away they're transformed to Buddha's form. So all impure perception is transformed to the Buddha's form body. So, you know, like example, we have the loved ones or ourselves, or someone has problems. So usually the worldly people, you know, think about our parents or loved ones or some relatives. Then when they think about more create attachment and you know, fixation. So like take example, like when we pass away someone, our loved ones, then we think about that. We upset, you know, and kind of like feel sad and attachment and unhappy. So that's create some samsara causes again. That also no benefit us, no benefit to the person who passing away or person who has obstacle. You know, we create more obstacle to them too. So know this meditator practitioners, when think about, you know, our loved ones pass away, when they think about that, right away, this visualize Buddha's form. Because if long as they're used to that, this effort to the mind, our loved ones who pass away, right away, they visualize Buddha's form. And then that actually benefit to who pass away, our loved ones, and benefit us. Why benefit others? Because they are condition, causes condition to visualize Buddha. So you're thinking about your loved ones, someone passed away, right away you think about Buddha, and then they create visual these conditions. So we visualize the enlightened form. Then you visualize, and then you can maybe do prayers, pujas. So that's benefit for who our loved ones pass away, and also benefit us. Otherwise, you know, we thinking about only our loved ones chanting the prayers is not really much benefit, no essence, no much power there too. So someone like our loved one passed away, we wanted to really help them. When we think about that person, the person is effort to maybe your mind, the right way, that perception, the appearance is transformed to Buddha's form. Then you can chant the mantras, practice. So that, you know, benefit for them, benefit us too. Then also, like our loved ones, someone has a problem, difficulties, obstacles. So you wanted to help them. Usually we worry about them, you know. If we have a problem, we worry ourselves. Our loved ones have problems, we worry about them all the time. So that actually no helping any benefit us, no benefit to them. We create more obstacle for us and others too. So then these meditator practitioners visualize Buddha, often this person who can do that, that person, when they're, you know, thinking about our problem, right away, you visualize Buddha. So that problem is causes of become enlightenment. See, you think about your own problem, right away you visualize Buddha. See, the problem is creating the transforming to create the causes of enlightenment. So then that really helps remove our problem, obstacles, root, you know, root removed. Yeah, the result is hard. When already result there is no one really can removed. So just have to eat medicine, nothing to do much. But this teachings is like Buddha's teaching, we follow by Four Noble Truths. He never say, I'm going to remove suffering. You have to remove suffering. He say you have to remove origination of suffering. Yeah. So that's why this practice, we remove origination of suffering. When we have a problem, something, difficulties, right away practice so Buddha, visualize Buddha, and they're removing the causes of not only this life, other life, many, like, of course, the karma is like many lifetimes we create, and also the karma is we have so many the karma. This life suffering, future life, many lifetimes of suffering, we have already created that karma. That kind of karma is removing. So that's why this sometimes like our problem, obstacles really benefit us. If long as we know this, how to use this practice. But this, we know this easy because not that difficult. The problem is, we don't have enough mind for. And then also when we have these problems, we forget to apply this practice. So sometimes like people don't want to apply. They just wanted to be suffering. Okay, I cannot do, just let be suffering. They don't apply. Because due to ignorance, we don't see the deeper causes of suffering. So the small problems actually removing really big problem, causes of suffering. Like small suffering causes, like we really remove big suffering. Because like you have some small problems, you visualize Buddha and practice meditate, removing like bigger causes of suffering. Maybe like think about the causes of hair realm suffering, causes of animal realms suffering, causes of hungry causes of suffering. See, so small suffering actually support us, remove that kind of causes of suffering. As long as you apply, we practice. So that's why this session, this Yidam deity practitioners, when they have a own like problem, others problem, they don't do any like try to solve that problem. They just visualize Buddha, meditate, and they don't try to solve this temporary suffering. That recognizes they can remove bigger suffering, like benefit own and benefit others. Okay, so when you have like your loved ones has a suffering problem, or you also obstacles, you think about them, you worry about them, it's create more suffering, more creative your conditions again. So that's why that time you visualize the Buddha and meditate, then they remove the also their obstacle too. So that's why this is a method of practice. This many high-level practitioners practice Yidam deity. The point is that's why they benefit others and they benefit own. And then you use to that, of course, in the Pardo, the appearance arising, the appearance is like no impure appearance arising for us. Appearance is Buddha's form is arising. Then we can liberate in the Pardo too. So that's called liberation, Sambo Nakaya. We already talked about that. And the Pardo Theodore teaching last year. So now is we everyday practice Buddha. So this practice really helping us in the Pardo. Not only see this life something, So we visualizing Buddha, and in the Pardo, the Buddha is appeared to us. So then this impure perception is transformed, removed. So not in pure perception arise, in Pardo didn't have this frightening, scare, and suffering. So that's why visualize is powerful. And so when we visualize, it's talk about, vividly, clearly, so there are many things important. Even you cannot visualize very clearly, that is okay. So very hard to do that. Visualize, try to visualize very clearly all your eyes, hands, nose, every detail wanted to appear to clearly your mind. Then that also create distraction. So that's why just like load the image and the same like exactly appear in your mind or form bodies in your mind. Then the connection, chant the practice prayer. That is where it's good to do. Otherwise, you try to all this form is detail clearly appear to your mind, that create more distraction. The important is devotion connection. So devotion also no one cause. So I told you many times, because devotion is arising from the true devotion is arising from the practice of Dharma. So when you practice more Dharma, you recognize more this Dharma's benefits, and your feelings more connections. Then you have more devotion, like strong devotion is your devotion is your feeling. So you have your own experience, your feeling arising. That's the devotion is arising from the practice Dharma. So your practice is going right direction, and then you really put effort practicing, naturally devotion is arising. So otherwise, like, what is devotion cause? I cannot find anything. So there's so many conditions we have to create. Yeah, so many conditions created. Is like the point is practice Dharma. Then devotion is naturally arise. So then visualize also the Buddha in front of us is not just image. You don't need to think only Tanka or some, or is Tanka or is image nation. It's not real Buddha. So then that you cannot create devotion. So whatever you visualize in front of you, or the image, Tanka or stage, whatever you have, that is Buddha. So no need to think, okay, it's not Buddha. So that is Buddha. Special object, you visualize, you have something that is Buddha. So that's why it's called object of a special object. Means like the when you use some object and visualize the Buddha is always there. The enlightened form body, long as your mind connection, you have some special objects, you visualize that is Buddha, that is become Buddha. So that's why Buddha, you don't need to think about all somewhere else. I cannot connect with that. So long as you visualize, you have devotion, Buddha is always there with us. The visualize, you not droppedly, just 100% you feel is Buddha. So that helps become very strong connections. Then when we visualize that Buddha, of course, so you need confident and divine pride. Usually we talk about the confident and the divine pride. We can visualize ourselves as Buddha too. So when yourself is visualize Buddha, you need a confidence, you need a divine pride. So if you visualize Buddha in front of you, you need confident and divine pride too, because that is not God, is Buddha. So yourself also Buddha. Then that's meditation is usually we talk about we visualize ourselves as Buddha is no mistake, no incorrect. it's correct. We visualize ourselves as Buddha because our natural mind is Buddha. So that's why you create yourself, visualize Buddha is correct, not incorrect. It's truth because our mind is Buddha. That's why you can do that. You can create that. If our mind is not Buddha, then you visualize ourself form is Buddha is incorrect. Then that meditation practice never benefit. So we visualize ourselves form is Buddha because benefit, transform, reason is our mind is Buddha. So that's why Tibetan called Yimpala Yimparshi is you are truly Buddha. You visualize yourself as Buddha is recognizing your own. So we have to create that divine pride, called divine pride. It's called positive pride. Positive pride is antidote also negative pride too. And this Vajrayana teaching is we create some positive and antidote to negatives. So positive divine pride is antidote to negative pride. That kind of, like this teaching or the detail Vajrayana teaching follow, meditators use the antidote is same, same again. Means heat antidote heat, cold antidote cold, sickness antidote actually sickness, kind of like that. So no using apply some other solution. So Mahayana Sutra tradition, Vajrayana teaching, the use method is different. The both remove negative, but using method is different. Sutra tradition, heat antidote cold. So when you hot, then you like use air condition. That kind, that is antidote. The Vajrayana tradition, you get cold, no using cold, you use more cold or something for antidote. So that is the kind of a crazy way. It's harder to apply, but it's more powerful than Sutra tradition. We use apply antidote to our negativity. Vajrayana is more powerful, but it's very hard, not easy to do that. So that's one reason here. Ego antidote ego. So we have an ego, negative ego. So then you create yourself divine pride. Yourself is Buddha, divine pride. So that's positive ego is antidote to negative ego. Then anger, antidote anger too. Also we visualize wrath for deities. Anger, antidote anger. So attachment antidote to attachment is like using this, attachment, like that's why representative Yab and the Yom union, that practice is antidote to attachment, antidote attachment. So the Vajrayana apply all this method is totally, how to say that, like, we don't do that. It's kind of like a little crazy, but it's very powerful. Not suitable for everyone. It's only someone have ability to do that, using that. So then this negativity, everything is become source of causes of enlightenment. Sutraya tradition, negative everything is we have to remove, abandoned. Vajrayana tradition, this negative everything is create a source of enlightening conditions, causes of conditions. So it's a different method, but both actually no one accepted negative emotion. Negative emotion is get rid of or changed. So that's the Sutrayana tradition, Vajrayana tradition, different method apply when we practice Dharma. So when you have, attachment, then you can meditate. You antidote is called impermanent and also investigating. Where is I'm going to attachment? You look to that object. It's like example, our body is skin, bone, and all this you investigating. That is a Sutraya tradition antidote to attachment. So Vajrayana using attachment antidote is they have many different levels. Using this energy, recognize it's no essence. Nothing is anything that truly exists, benefit. So they don't give up, but they use that energy. Then they really see that everything is like kind of like nothing is truly anything, something benefit or truly exists. There is always recognized its emptiness. So it's different method they're using. That's why when we visualize the Yadam deity, also it's Vajrayana method, kind of, like actually Sutra both does. So depend the individual how you using, go more deeper or no. So you just visualize, feel connect with the enlightened being. That is a Sutra tradition, Vajrayana tradition, both has. But then go more deeper level, you create yourself as Buddha. You meditate yourself as Buddha, you create a divine pride. So that is go then Vajrayana tradition level, Yadam deity practice. Sutrayana has Yadam deity practice, Vajrayana both has, but Sutraya tradition only visualize, connect with that, but they don't really have a teaching to talk about their own is transformed to Buddha. Our body, speech, mind is like transformed to Buddha. And so when you visualize yourself, is self-visualization is a Vajrayana tradition, become create yourself as Buddha. So that helps also. I am Buddha is introduced to negative is I am. Negative I am is the causes of samsara, self-grasping. I am Buddha is positive, that is positive I am is introduced to negative I am. So that's all possible. This practice is Yadam deity practice. When you Shakyamuni Buddha visualize also in front, you can think about yourself is Buddha too. Then this talk about the Buddha's his body, the color of gold adorned with measurement or marks. So you visualize this. This is all is like enlightening qualities, body enlightening qualities. So this enlightenment Buddha's body quality is introduced to all this impure perception, negative perceptions. So that's why we created the enlightened form body ourselves. So then also we visualize this Buddha is not only with himself, so he has a red nose and many his disciples with him. So we visualizing all surrounded this 8 colossal suns, 60 eaters in the lake of West Ocean, like retinal over noble beings, all this Hinayana tradition talk about all these 16 ahats and noble other beings, and Mahayana talk about all these Bodhisattvas, Vajrayana talk about all these Yadam deities, and be with Buddha together, visualizing. So then that is a visualization. Then we go to the page 3. So actually, this is the important. We usually don't read here in this small letter. So when we visualize the form of the Buddha in this way, and imagine that he is actually there. See, when you visualize, you have to actually there. So that's I wanted to try to say, but I didn't found the correct word to say. That's it, that has actually there in front of you. The instant that you generate his thought as the Buddha's wisdom body is not constrained by limits like time or location, he will certainly be there. So see, Buddha we don't need to think all bodies in order, and also constant by limits like time or location, he will certainly be with us. One of the sutras says, should anyone think of the Buddha, he is there right in front of them, constantly granting his blessings and freedom from all harm. So when we, think about Buddha, it's always there. That is all the enlightened beings. Same, like you think, oh, Buddha Shakyamuni can be there, but maybe other Tara or Chinrezek, they cannot be there. But that's also, we misunderstand. All these enlightened beings, doesn't matter which one you're practicing. When you think about them, they are always with you there. So right in front of them, constantly granting these blessings and freedom for all harm. So then the merit gained through visualizing the Buddha is inexhaustible. It is a source of virtue that will never go to waste. So when we visualize the Buddha, then we do this, prostration to Buddha, confession to Buddha, and offering to Buddha. So that kind of practice, is never exhaustible. See, constantly grant is a blessing and freedom from all harm. The merit gained through visualizing the Buddha is inexhaustible. It is source of virtue that will never go to waste. As it says in the Atavasanka Sutra, by seeing Buddha form is you seeing, hearing, or offering to the Buddhas, so we like in the front of the Buddha, we doing practicing, offering, chanting prayers, and the boundless story of Mary is amassed. So that Mary is amassed, is like the West. Till we are rid of all the destructive emotion and the suffering of samsara. This compound Mary will never go to waste. Also, whatever prayer of aspiration we make before the Buddha will be fulfilled. As it says in the teaching on the qualities of Manjushri's Pure Land, everything is circumstantial and depends entirely on our aspiration. Whatever prayers or aspiration we make, this result will gain accordingly. Generated from conviction in these statements and recite the following. So that, just as read the prayer, this quality of magician is pure line, the teaching talk about this. That is the, usually we think why this prayer practice has benefit. So the prayer practice has a benefit because the reason is here. See, everything is circumstantial. And depending entirely on our aspiration. So everything is, see here is conditions, so many causes of conditions. All this, we create conditions. That's why this has powers, benefits. So the difference, think about the difference, usually other religion is only like think about the gods can help or benefit. So then their worship to the gods. But we also like think about the Buddhists also worship Buddha, but kind of very similar if you don't know the importing what the difference is. So author level kind of similar. Buddhist people also go to temple, and the Christian all go to church, other or go to mass or something. The prayer. It's everyone is worshiping. It's kind of the same thing, no difference. But difference is like long as you are Buddhist, you have to think about this. Not only like Buddha has power to benefit, like that. That's like we talked many times. Interdependent. Buddhist is interdependent, and so that's why when we have to create all these conditions together. So we don't create all these conditions. Buddha, please take me heaven. Not possible, right? So please transform your knowledge for me. Please give me blessing. That's never happen. Not possible. So then, what do we have to do? We have to create all these conditions. This condition all comes together. Then that benefit us, also benefit to we pray to others. So because the circumstantial and depending entirely on our aspiration. So I don't know exactly the English clearly. This Tibetan is very profound, that part, this everything is all this phenomena, all this everything is followed by the conditions. So then that's why your aspiration is also condition, depending entirely in our aspiration. Whatever prayers or aspiration we make, the result we will gain accordingly. So generate from conviction in this statement and recite the following. So then that's we have to recite and think that, and then we have to recite this prayer. So this first prayer, first verses is homage to Buddha Shakyamuni. Usually the teachers when share the teaching, before some teachers chant this prayer. And first when they're going to share the teaching, before share the teaching, homage to Buddha. So use these verses, the chantings. Not every teachers, they use some different also prayers, but mostly many people use this one too, many teachers. So with your great compassion, you embrace this turbulent and degenerate world and me 500 many aspirations. You ask exactly as a white lotus, whoever your hair name shall never return to samsara, most compassionate teacher, to you I pay homage. So they chant this prayer to homage to Buddha. Then this section is followed by the for 7 branch prayers. So the visualize Buddha Shakyamuni in front of us, then we doing this 7 branch practice in front of the Buddha. So 7 branch we doing, you know, first we homage, pay homage to Buddha, and it's prostration to Buddha. Then second is offering to the Buddha, and the third is confession, and fourth one is rejoicing. Fifth one is you know, transfer of perform Dharma-based teaching ceaselessly in every direction. So then 6 is requesting to stay longer. 7 is a dedication. So that is many this Yadam deity, all the Yadam deity actually practice sadhana has these 7 branch prayers. Then this 7 branch prayer is followed by outer level practice, inner level, and the secret levels. So depending individual, the own practitioner's level. So here is the prayer right now. Here is directly outer level way, because we visualize Buddha Shakyamuni in front of us. We doing prostration to Buddha Shakyamuni. So that is outer level. The inner level is you know, we visualize ourselves as Buddha and drawing prostration. So the inner level is realize own natural mind. So that is then own prostrating to our own natural mind, homage to our own nature. So nothing to, you know, like prostration to outer level. So it's like come to upper or deeper secret level, homage to our own natural mind. So that's the, you see Genji Mahamudra and many other this Mahamudra teachings, homage to actually own nature. Then we offering also have an outer level, secret, inner level, and the secret level, many different levels. Outer level is this all the beautiful things we create outer level offering. Inner level is they have a called Torma. We created Torma, and they have a Rakta, is red color. The other one is called Rakta, and the Me is medicine, is white color. So that is all is a source of our actually body's energy. Think about our body is a Torma, okay, and our red drop is Rakta, and our white is you know, is called medicine. So this all created the offerings. That's called inner offerings. They also representative. This 3 is 3 poisons. This all negative emotion also become offerings too. That's followed by inner offering. Secret level offering is when you realize your own nature, you get blessed. That bless is offering. So that's why this outer, inner, secret level, different levels offerings. Actually, inner level offering, outer level offering is a contradict. Contradict means outer level is we must be everything's good, you know, pure, like beautiful for our perception. They go to inner level is or you use this negative, everything is a source of the for the resources enlightening quality offering. Sacred level is your offering your own natural mind. So your realization, your bliss is your offering to your own nature. That's different levels offering. We usually follow by the different sadhana has. They're also sometimes confused to you because different sadhana, some follow by outer level offerings, some follow by inner level offerings, some follow by secret level offerings. So that's also different according to sadhana levels offering. Then we also have this confession to Buddha. So confession, also outer level confession, inner level confession, secret level confessions. They have different levels of confessions. Outer level exactly follow this way. We visualize Buddha, we confessing to Buddha. We think about all whatever we did wrong things. So inner level, then confession is we visualize ourselves is Buddha, and then all this negativity is you saying that is actually offering is become confession. Inner level confession is you recognize your own natural mind, all this eons negativity is dispelled, transformed. So that is inner level, secret level. Secret level of confessions. Then we have here is rejoicing. So rejoice also follow exactly these three different levels. Some people doing good things in the worldly, so you can rejoice at that outer level rejoicing. Someone doing all these spiritual things, doing some practice, benefit others. So you rejoice at that also outer level rejoicing. And inner level rejoice, we create ourselves as Buddha, meditate, self-visualization and practice, rejoicing ourselves practice. The recognize ourselves as Buddha. So inner level rejoicing is then your recognize your own nature is rejoice, the joy. So that's rejoicing, rejoicing, rejoice. So that kind, all these different levels is followed by different sadhanas. This 7 branches point is antidote to our afflictive emotions. So we have a pride, then that's why we're doing postations. We have self-grasping, that's why we're doing these offerings. And we create so much negativity, so that's why we're doing confessions. And we have a jealousy, that's why we're doing this rejoicing. So we have a wrong view, that's why we ask to teachers to, share the teachings. So that is recosting teaching is antidote to our wrong view. So that's why this 7 branch is followed by, or is our negative emotions, antidote to our negative emotions. The last one is we usually do dedication. Whatever we marry is dedicating to other beings. So that's the follow the 7 branch prayer. Then we chant the page 5 is living being like us adrift in this general age, have no guidance and protection because of your kindness. So we really see in this samsara beings so much suffering, living beings like us adrift in this degenerate age. So now it's called degenerate age term. The Buddha Shakyamuni is come to degeneration term. So the before previous Buddha is going to, I don't know how to use English, you call excellent term or something, better terms. So that term is beings like less desire, less fixation, and less grasping. So then slowly degeneration means like more grasping, more fixation, and that is called degeneration term. The degeneration is pointing to the emotions, no talking about other things. So emotion is more strong than before. So that's why it's called degeneration time. More desire objects. Then Buddha Shakyamuni come to in this degeneration time, he come as like, because this degeneration time have no guidance and protection. Because of your kindness, caring for us with unsurpassing compassion, every manifestation in this world know of the three jivas. So when you chant this prayer, then you really connect with Buddha Shakyamuni. You really recognize his kindness, compassion for us. The Buddha is not come into this world, then no Dharma, then we no possible to liberation. So we kept going to samsara again and again. So Buddha, his kindness, because other Buddhas or choice, like the choice is like enlightening the excellent terms. The Buddha Shakyamuni has more compassion. He looked through this degeneration time, very hard to term the other beings. So difficult time he choose and he come to in the world and he share the teachings. So when we chant this, you really think these words and you have strong feeling and connection to Buddha Shakyamuni. So because of your kindness, see his kindness, caring for us with unsurpassing compassion, every manifestation in this world know of the three jivas, your enlightening activity. Then after all this, like we talk about the Buddhas, actually Buddha Shakyamuni's enlightening activities. Pema Sambhava, he says, he is emanation of Buddha Shakyamuni. So Nagarjuna, he is Buddha Shakyamuni's emanation. So that, all these enlightening beings, many is Buddha Shakyamuni's manifestations. So many Buddhas already enlightened, they share the teachings. We are not part of that. We are not that mandala. So we have a connect with Buddha Shakyamuni. No, we go through samsara eons, many lifetimes. We didn't get any other Buddhas benefit us. But now we connect with Buddha Shakyamuni. So that's, we have to recognize Buddha Shakyamuni's kindness for us. It's caring for us with his compassion. So our connection, we are Buddha Shakyamuni's mandala. So now, then also when Buddha Shakyamuni passed away, but he never, give up us, because his manifestation always come to happen, in this degeneration time for us. That's why, so you are our only refuge. Incomparable spirit. So from our hearts we pray with total confidence and faith. So we confident and faith to Buddha. That's also we have to recognize Buddha Shakyamuni, his compassion, his wisdom for us, his compassion, kindness for us. You recognize, and then we take refuge to Buddha and devotion to create faith and Buddha Shakyamuni. So this also depending individual level. So this Buddhist, many of these philosophers have very strong devotion to Buddha. Their devotion is different than us. Their devotion, because they really research, investigating the teaching, then they recognize Buddha's teaching is unmistaken. They get certainty that in the mind, then the devotion arises to Buddha. So we have 17 Nalanda scholars. All this right now, we Buddhists follow their 17 scholars teaching. These all scholars, not everyone, I think, but mostly there, especially these most philosophers, there, and when you read their teachings, they say, I'm not biased. They say, I'm not biased means they say, I'm not biased with different religions. They say, I'm followed by who has truth. So they investigate all the other religions and Buddha teaching, comparing. They learn everything. Then they say, I'm followed by who has truth. So then they say, I find Buddha is unmistaken teaching. Because first there's a Buddha, it is himself. He didn't have any agenda to create something, his own religion. They didn't found anything his own agenda. And they found that the one is like Buddha is, when he shared teaching, is all is compassion, true, based on compassion. So then that research, the teaching, all is unmistaken, is because it's talk about the nature of phenomena. Long as you have enough knowledge, you can research, you can investigate, you can study. It's philosophy, and it's a science. So that's why this philosopher says, okay, I follow the Buddha. I'm not biased because his teaching is unmistaken. He is unmistaken teacher. His teaching is unmistaken teaching. That's why they follow the Buddha. So that when we study this Buddhist science philosophy, they're inside there, they're mentioning about these things. Then of course this Nagarjuna and other these teachers research so much research. They are the scientists, and they found Buddha is unmistaken teacher. So that's their devotion is through this intellectual or study and understanding, and then they have a very strong devotion to Buddha. So we know we can follow that because they're actually already approving that. So no, we can follow that. For us, it's very easy. We don't have to do that. Think about some these scientists that create something. First research, take so long research, investigating, and then create. So after that, then many companies use that. Is easy, right? So they don't have to research again. You can research, you can investigate, but it's even you not going to do that. It's teaching is unmistaken because already they proved. So same is medicine. Medicine, true medicine is approved by this so many how to say, the office or government, some levels have to approving correctly. It's not really any hurt other people, harming for others. They have to approving. So that kind of same, this teaching is approved, Buddha's teachings. Then during the Nalanda University, these scholars, when wrote the commentary, they have to approve by 100 scholars. The 100 scholar comes together, and then they share this. Someone wrote the commentary. They check everything is okay. So then they have to approving that commentary. So the commentary we have is 200 volumes. Buddha has a 100 volume translation to Tibetan language, and this commentary has 200 volumes translation to Tibetan language. So that all is approving by 100 scholars, teachers, and professors, Nalanda University. So that's why this teaching is called unmistaken teaching. And so you recognize that and think that, then you really arise devotion to Buddha. So then, of course, like when you read the Buddha's biography and his story, and there also arise devotion to Buddha. So when he enlightened after when he back to his father's kingdom, his father is the highest king, but under him is so many small kings. So all these kings come together, say, okay, no, this kingdom is yours. Please take care. It's yours, offer to Buddha. So Buddha said, no, I cannot only take care of this kingdom. I belong to all the sentient beings. I cannot only stuck with this kingdom. So I have to, my, intention is wanted to benefit every beings, not only this kingdom stuck with here. So that's he has a compassion for all the beings. Same is his kingdom. So that's when you read the Buddha Shakyamuni biographies, many these kind of stories really connect with like strongly Buddha Shakyamuni. So that's why we are part of the Buddha Shakyamuni mandala and visualize Buddha, press to Buddha Shakyamuni. They did not neglect the great promise you made in times gone by, but hold us until we attain enlightenment with your compassion. So Buddha Shakyamuni also aspiration. He did aspirations. So I'm going to help other beings. See, in this generation time. So he promised. So please, we remind him again. Actually, it's connections. So, Depa. So okay, we talk about the devotion and compassion. Buddha has a compassion with hope. We need like this, and then you can hope. What is it called? Rain or something. And you are like this, you cannot hope. Yeah. So we must be like this. And then you can hope here. So this is a devotion. This is a compassion, okay? So he has a compassion promise for going to benefit us. We need the devotion, like we need like this, and then you can hook up devotion and compassion. Then you can liberate. So without devotions, Buddha has compassion, wanted to benefit every beings, but then his compassion cannot help anyone there, So that's you can see all his stories. When Buddha Shakyamuni alive that time, go to every areas, like he recognized which person is arising connections, devotion. So he hooked up that person. Okay, so now, then this next one is Supreme Teacher Bhagavan Tathagata. If you don't know any other like prayers, only chant that. That is also the short included. This whole sadhana is a short form is this one. So then this short form is you memorize, and when you wake up and chant or going to sleep or you chant these prayers, when you think about Buddha Shakyamuni, just chant this prayer. It's very good to do that. Reminding yourself, used to practicing. Then this Buddha Shakyamuni is also, you can change to like complete and perfect Buddha, glorious conqueror. Shakyamuni is changed to Buddha Amitabha, changed to other Buddhas too. So it's the same prayer, it's just name is changing. We use many other prayers that Homage, take refuge. So then chant the mantra, Tiyata Mene Mene Mahamene Soha. Okay, so after mantra is drain all this, bring to mind the Buddha's quality, and with a mind full of devotion, concentrate one-pointedly on the clear visualization of his form. Then through the power of uttering the names of Buddha and reciting his dharani, emerging that. So chant that and this thing about Buddha, thinking about the quality. And then when we finish this prayer, so from the Buddha's body, the emanates a great radiance of a multicolor rays of wisdom, like dispelling all our own and others' obscurations and casting all genuine quality of Mahayana path to rising with us, so that we attain level of perfection from which we will never return again to samsara. And this prayer, so just it's very beautiful. You know, usually you can use often this this meditation. So you visualize Buddha, his leg ready eating, you know, to hit to your mind. They also someone who has like very sad feeling in, you know, something going on in your heart, sad, unhappy, have a depression. So very difficult, you know, mental suffering problems going on. So then this is actually the very powerful benefit in using this meditation. Visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, his leg ready is hitting to your heart, you know, then meditate. So that helps, like it's removing your some. Here is your holding something, you know, negativity. You can release that, remove. So also sadness, unhappy feelings. So visualize bright light come from Buddha and hit to your heart and meditate, visualize. So you can visualize that often and often. It's also good to do, you know, like sometimes you see the light is really directly hit you, just light is transformed to Buddha, that light is coming to your heart and then meditate. Sometimes you can reflection sun and moon and anything, like you see the reflection, something coming to you. So you use this meditation. You know, some like this usually our worldly this is light, you know, sun, moon, this light all is using this meditation. You can use that practice. So sun is like, you know, sun is setting. When you like that, you visualize the lotus sun, and then there's Buddha, and then the light is hitting to your heart. So moon and other lights, anything, many things you can use this, you know, condition, create meditation. Your support your meditation. So this actually very popular meditation used, I mean, in monasteries, we mostly people, many these practitioners use this one. Visualize this Buddha's body to like ready is to hit in your heart, and then stay meditate. So then you think about the multicolor rays of wisdom, like dispelling all our own and others' obscurations, all this our anger, sadness, unhappy, you know, desire, attachment, everything is released, removing. So you can visualize. Then also like that is hit to your hand, your heart, and release all your self-grasping. Then this one, also when we use method is you meditate Mahamudra. When you meditate Mahamudra, Dzogchen, so sometimes you can really feel unhappy, you know, lonely and sad feeling arise. So that time also they use this method. Then sometimes like your when you meditate, like your foggy, sleepy mind. So that time also they use this method. This one is you can apply in the during the other many meditations sections together. So that helps, remove our fogginess mind, sadness feeling, unhappy. And so this meditation is very powerful, its benefits. So that's why we have to apply often and often with Mahamudra meditation too, or shamatha meditation, use special objects. And casting all the genuine quality, then you can think about all your enlightening qualities arising. Mahayana path to arising within us, so that we attain level of perfection from which we will never return again to samsara. So now, this is the instruction. So diligently apply yourself to this practice as much as you can, and this practice Buddha Shakyamuni. In between sections, practice mandala offering and recite to the best of your ability. Whichever sutra you prefer, such as the praises of the Buddha, white lotus of compassion, Lelitavisatara or Jataka, Talis, or the 100 names of the Tathagatas, dedicate your source of virtue towards unsurpassable awakening and recite prayer of aspirations. In general, whatever you are doing, so this practice, we have to apply always, whatever you are doing, whether it is moving, walking, sleeping, or sitting. You should constantly remember the Buddha. Even at the night, when you go to sleep, consider that the radiance of the Buddha's form illuminates the whole of space in every direction, lighting it up as brightly as during the day. At all times, eliminate the Buddha's actions from the moment he first generated the mind of awakening, and follow the example of the Buddhas and the great Bodhisattvas of the past, present, and the future, maintaining your commitment to precious bodhicitta without ever following it to waver or exert yourself as much as possible in the Bodhisattva's conduct in general and in the practice of samadhi and vipassana in particular, so as to make meaning for the freedom and advantage of this human existence. It is said in several sutras that merely hearing the name of our teacher, the Buddha, ensures that one will gradually progress along the path to great enlightenment without ever falling back. It is also said that the Dharani revealed above is the source of all the Buddhas. It was through the force of discovering this Dharani that the king of Shakyas himself attained enlightenment, and that our Lokeshwara become the supreme of all the Bodhisattvas. Through simply hearing this Dharani, a vast accumulation of merit will easily be gained and all karmic obscuration will be purified. And when recite it, obstacle will not occur. This has been taught in the Breji Panjaparimita, Other teachings say that by reciting this dharani, only one or the harmful actions you have committed throughout 80 karpa, 80,000 karpas will be purified. Wow, that's very powerful. They say that it possesses boundless quality such as this, and is the sacred heart essence of Buddha Shakyamuni. The way to generate faith and exert oneself in the practice of shamatha and vipassana are explained elsewhere. Okay, so then that's this practice benefit. And then the intention to compose this text first arises due to the persisting encouragement of one Orjin Tenzing Norbu, who is a holder of the treasury of the threefold training, and who accomplished his recourse with the offering of aspiration substance. More recently, the same on Rinpoche, Saint Trukjingmi Pema Dechin with gift of gold and other auspicious substance, saying, please finish it quickly. At the origin of this Dharma teacher in name only during this final age, composed this at Pingso Norberling at the foot of Mount Za Dorje Pingso. It was composed on the 8th day of the month of miraculous in the Arun Red year. May this benefit the teachings and the beings continuously without interruption on a marvelous scale, I think. And may all who is see here think of come into contact with it anyway, truly receive the incomparable blessing of our teacher, the Lord of Sages. Okay, so this composed by Mapam Rinpoche. So there are many other teachers recourse to him to ask to help this compose. So that's the finishes. So I know I'm going to do the transmission. Transmission, we can finish it half of today, half of tomorrow, okay? Sanje Jeda Zoja Jonala, Sanje Borda Dana Jazanje, Dagi Jimba Sonam Jen, Rola Pensa Sanje Robarcho, Linson Semija Gomba, Mendadande, Senjidam Jeda Deva Jeda, the Barja Dona, the Haji Jeda Ravarji, the Hamad, the Vadamada Maravarji, Jadan Jeda Ravatan, Semivala, Never George, Ajimi, the Manita, the younger. Nawangami Sojo Jimazer, and the Nangajuri Jansever, and Jason Revenue, then Thomas Misha Jasingan, Sajino Jisena visit, Jigasan Dojiro, Yosa, and the Sajalajan Jasa, and Yadusonzina. Sir, the Jipama, you as a drawing high in Jan, US in the digital zone, but just a good young and there wasn't using Daniel and the day on Yugopasawa, and the Dani Jimbasar. She and the Sanjikola make the Namis Joe, Numbers, and Jimada the Sanji Jikola Solati Kanda and Yerim Manavasar. Pandemic button you want Jordan Dolegan, Sanji Ziba, and then a day and then a day, Joe, the Tabara Single of the Jane, and Nabarochi song. Java, the Nila Minnesota by Amaziba, because I choose our in the purple jelly, Java the Dala, Java the Dutch Tin Tong, Chuba Sebejan, Semi by Sonam Pomo Pavanjo, Nimonko, Dongadam Japan Jordan, the Zendaya Parmadon, same and Joshida, then the Molajeta Batajin dropped in Jambar Shinga, Timbale, China Tamjin, and then the Basela rather than Kangamolajeta, then the Never Tabanjoshi, Sombasana. Long birthday baji de ninja jimbo to the Nimajan on the Molan Jimbonga Jada, Begatanga and December, Tomatu Jin La San, Zolo da Yigo Zonga Salon Juja, Sanche in the member. Tomineza de Doma Leba, Nin Jubara Besoya, Badazo Giovanne, the Zonzala Gizayarango, Sabi Jangole Zoro, Jima Jibago, the Zorojun, and Nangatawa Yishiko. This Opojo Meba Jumija, the Zanamo Jinjas, the Doja, the Bazogada, the Nawanzo, Dagatizan Sabagazo, Gajan Wakan, the Jijabada, the Jijava, Dajan Himando and Gomina, the Jalabazoma Garden Legend of the Regina Zonja, no, Jinji, there's a Janjo Somijibera, Yiji, the Benin, Sonana, Nijida Jimamano. Sanjobardo to Jijin Zoji, Yiji, the Barabe, the Mangus, Union Bagala, the Mede, the Majin, the Yijibara, the Chaja, the Balasology, the Jasanjo, to Juko, the Chelsea, you can Yungala Zone, the Adomane Mahamane, so Yijere, the Omane Mahamane, so Minche, of the Dow, the Dagaza, Tomba, Yundi, Jisitin, the Ebesem Jitse, the Kursar, Nala maintenance in Juba, the zone, the Pichin. Tombagala Yishos and Asoba Nawajimeda, Jabadam Jesa, Yedabajimelam, Yundis, Yindajit, Samadovasa, Nobarjo, Sam, Tetar Chinis, Tombarsa, Tensan as a Menders on Chubada, Tindu Jeradan, Hinjepega, Jachero, Bachiran, Naso, Tejinship, and Saint Jasab, Jason Dog, Kandu, Chini, Chetan Nepala, Sondo, Kandu, Chetan Nepala, give us on Alami, Sanjun, Hoda, Mona Jeda Barsao. Chen Rochan Yandoga Kab the Tomba Maji, but Temba and Simon and Toman is a Yubuko, just saw Tam Nimo Shingdon down with Tita and now and decision on the new Lobarsa, teaching the Toman that took you but someday. This on the Sanji, the Sanju so much on the number tabologies of Jova Sanju, Tamja Loba, maybe on his Sanju, but Chuba, the Cheba, the Shelag and Namjolichinis at Tombe Tamjur, Toba Tondin and Jordan Dajak Tomba and Sintibat Sam Shake, Ramji Sanju Chimbe Lamne, Samodo and Jovan Dotaman is on Konda Tembe Zone de Sanje, Tamjin Yongje. Zone de Nipe T, Shaki Jabotenic Sanjeje, Zone de Nipin T, San Shaki Jabotanic Sanjeje, Chinese, Sanjus, and Chuban to the Chavada, Zone de Tibetan, Sona Jachin, same about Tobin, Legend Tibetan, Samada, not Draban, Game Manji, from Draban Joroshi, Shiraji Partas, you get young Shiba, the song Yanka, Yin, Zone, the Lynch Debe. Karba Seva Tarte participate Dibatan Jisawan was a payment sent by the danger, the Yishiba to Nimbo Tambani the Sonso, Deba Chiba the Shinhagan Namjola Jetta Sword the Shebar Sao, Shiban the Lasso Nova Banzu, now Wung Yundin, Tenzen Nova the Tashiba Lazida and Encore, while a young job ten the Nyachaya, Honorable in the Triple Jimmy Pema de China Dinder and Jimambo, so Tashiba Lazichi and Jordan Robert Jiji Tamba Song Kora Tomba Chola Mississippi Teba of the Tintarchin now main something by Shaji Jinjo Mavan Jan Jones, Zadorje Pencil, Rush or Prince on Novel Lane, the CERN, the 20 and Rogan Rowan on the Jew, Tomba Toba Wambo Sing Lap, Somba on the Juba George, Origin Condo Nolan Zamka Langa Jincher Sing Lap Chamber, Yango Kyok, so Namolama Penjo Jerez, Conjola Doja, Gonyamajas, and Sandy Dover, same J. Dor, and Samaj Domanga, Mangasa Don Reversa. Rania Zambala, Gadasaya Bejonda, you been general and Roboji, Bangada, the young Kodakaro, the Jigo, Rasa Gina, Joan, the General Javasala and Adalama, or Janala, Jimmy, Jawasa, the Jinala, together with the Zona, was already just allowed in some uses of road. The Dart and Bess and Lango, Chamber, Jamba, Zambala, Rada, Home, Dog, and Harden, and Banana, Nagaya, so Lasso, the origins of the Rarim, Catalanda, Gavin, Dogan, Bemil, origin, knowledge, and the Tashi, Joran, Zenji, Dorji, Tashi, Dele. Jin Jongwar Sho, Shobata Sho. Okay, so we leave it today. Finish Buddha Shakyamuni and Zambala. And we're going to do dedication. Dorje Jang de Loba, Naroba, Marba, Malarepa, Dharma Lord Gamboba, Pamotoba, Lord Digomba. Please bestow us and the most auspicious blessing of all the Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies, confusion may all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is humble, may it arise, where it is a bone, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that the Dharma may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized automated state, and as did the Samadabhara, I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for sentient beings. By this blessing of the Buddhas who attain the Tirikayas, by blessing of the true of unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the Mary Asha bear fruit. By this virtue collected in the three realms, by my seven beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the inner rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings calculating and surpass perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teaching of Guru Gomparana Shri, who is omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, and end of samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Finish teaching today. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes,
Thank you.
Sandra has
Thank you so much, Kempo.
Happy New Year, Kempo.
Happy New Year.
Beautiful,
Happy New
beautiful
Year,
beginning. Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Kempo. Happy New Year.
Name Buddha Shakyamuni blessing.
Year, Campbell. Yeah, thank you.
Gracias, Señor.
Okay, Sandra, please.
Hi, Kempo. Thank you so much. I just wanted to clarify my understanding of what you said. So at the end, like kind of near the end, you talked about how beneficial it is to visualize Shakyamuni Buddha and his rays of light coming to your heart to dispel any sad feelings or you might have. And this is sort of what I had understood. This is how I was picturing it for when I think of other people. Like when I wanted to benefit other people, I was picturing the rays of light going to them. But in the beginning of the teaching, I think you said it's sort of like pure vision. It's much more beneficial to visualize them as the Buddha and yourself as the Buddha. And like the rays of light go out to them and they transform into the Buddha maybe. Could you clarify, is that what you said? Did I understand you correctly? Yeah, the both is correct. So you can do first visualize, the person is a Buddha is better. Then when you finish that, then the light radius is dissolved to that person. Finishing. So then, you have both together. Okay, that's great. Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. The whole teaching. Thank you. Okay, Liza.
I can both, and thank you. I would like to go back to the saying I am, or the phrase I am, and the idea that that is negative. We know in absolute truth, there is no I, there is no am. So we need to use words like I am on the relative truth level. But to me, if you just say I am, you're coming as close as you can to emptiness or being on the absolute truth level. Then if you were to add on things like I am Lisa, I am Buddhist, I am Buddha, I am rich, I am poor, I am happy, I'm sad. If you're adding on those things, it's like putting on more and more clothes, and that is creating more causes and conditions. So I don't see just saying I am as necessarily a negative thing. What do you think about that, please?
You want, but at 1:30 we're doing that, and you can join us if you like. But anything else is okay too.
Mary giving you answers, Lisa.
I did not hear. I only heard. I didn't really hear what Mary said.
Answer to you, but I didn't get. So yeah, I am is no bad, no good, but it's okay temporarily.
Okay.
Temporarily we use is okay.
Okay, because to me, like I said, to me that feels like it's almost like the same thing as saying I'm just here existing and I am emptiness. Because like, I'll just take let's say, if I tell people I am Buddhist, I prefer not to tell them that. I prefer to tell them I practice Buddhism, or my name is Lisa, because I'm not really Lisa. That's just a name given to me by my parents. So I'm not my name. I'm not all these conditions that we have to use in order to communicate. I'm not all of these things that we use, and nobody is, to define us. So I'm glad that I am is okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Kempo.
You're welcome. Melissa.
Kempo, I have a question. Sandra, thank you for your question, because I have some also related to the prayer. But I want to say something real quickly to Kempo and the Sangha. I'm sorry, I'm a little sad. I'm a little lungy. That's why I have questions about the meditation. But the past couple of days, people have asked things in the chat. And I want to explain to people that when people ask questions, it hits them. I want them to have so much support, because I've been in groups where people didn't get support for asking questions. And unless they were considered a senior student, they were treated as if they were stupid. And this has happened. And I haven't treated people properly in Sanghas. I have a big deal when somebody asks any kind of question, that they're supported to ask that question. And I'm really into studying right now, but people don't realize what a horrible student I've been. My teachers know, Kempo knows my mind, I know my mind, and I know what a bad student I've been. And so when I answer a question, to me, we're sitting in front of Buddha. And to me, obviously, if you have a question, you're going to end up asking Buddha, because he's sitting right here. But the reason I give people a partial answer, I don't have the skill, and I end up creating confusion. But Debbie said it best, because she said, what a great question, ask Kempo. And that's really what I'm trying to say. And I don't have the skill, but I'm really trying to encourage people. That's a question, and I'll say what I think is the answer, but I assume that they're going to ask Kempo. So I will try in the future to just do what Debbie said, which is, ask Kempo. But I make an assumption they're going to ask Kempo, because if Buddha's sitting here, ask him your questions. But I just try to encourage people. I'm sorry, I'm very lungy right now. So in fact, Kempo, I have a question about that meditation for lung. Are you saying that we can do this Buddha Shakyamuni prayer, and we can insert from the beginning, insert the name of any deity throughout the whole thing? Is that accurate?
Can you say again which one?
The Buddha Shakyamuni prayer. Do you mean that from the beginning of the prayer, we can insert the name of any deity and visualize that deity?
They have 4 sentences that we chant the Supreme Teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata, Ahara. So
Yeah.
only that one.
Okay, that's when we can visualize another deity.
No, when if you not during this prayer, so maybe you go back, you see, okay, someone dying, so then you say Supreme Teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata. Usually we don't say Supreme Teacher. Supreme Teachers only we say Buddha, just Bhagavan, Tathagata, Ahat, complete, perfect Buddha, Buddha Amitabha. So then that's you can do.
Yeah. Okay. In that one part of the prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in terms of, I know Sandra asked, I have a further question about the same thing. So if we are lungi or disturbed in our heart, like I am right now, we picture the Buddha, and the rays of his compassion are going directly into our heart, and it's like warm nectar.
Yes.
And do we visualize it multicolored?
You can do, yes, multicolored lights.
Okay. And did you also say that we can also imagine many bodies of the Buddha coming into our heart, many emanations?
This one not really need like many emanations. Just only like ready is coming to your heart, heat to your heart.
Okay, thank you so much, Kempo and Sangha.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Damon.
Just wanted to ask, is there a translation for the 108 names of the Tathagatas or no? In the Lots of a House website, there's a translation for it, and it mentions it, but it's not up on the internet, nor is there an English translation. Would you by any chance have a translation of it?
I really don't know. They have a translation.
Or would you be able to translate it by any chance? Or
so could it be one day we can see?
Thank you. It's different from the 100 syllables of the Tathagatas, correct?
So this is 100 syllable talking about this.
Okay.
Here is just mention about the Dharani means that this mantra.
Okay.
Laming.
Kimbra, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have two questions. The first question is, when you said that devotion is really depends on your practice, but sometimes I didn't feel I have any practice. But when I see Kapchen Rinpoche, I just deep inside feel a deep connection. And I trust and believe everything he said. And I don't even understand Tibetan when he was talking. So where is that devotion come from?
That devotion comes from your practice.
Well, I didn't feel I have practice because I didn't follow his,
You have practice, that's why devotion comes.
Okay. And the second one about related to Sandra and Melissa's question about the light. And I usually visualize it's not the light. I usually visualize it's letters. Like I like to swimming. I feel that I'm merged in letters, and I visualize Gajin Rinpoche have a jar with a letter and just pour in my hair or pour in my friend who's dying or something like that. And was it okay, or I have to change to light?
Oh, that's okay. You can do that.
So use like letter, like water, and then just from the Rinpoche's hand and with the jar and just merge. Or if I was in the swimming pool, I feel that I'm merged in all the wonderful water was the blessing from the Guru. Was it okay?
That's very good. You do yourself. That's it's that kind is like called individual own using some method. So it's good.
Should I add light?
Oh, okay, but you cannot say other people to do that and other people
okay.
That is your own really individual need something benefit.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kempo, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
My question is, when you visualize people as Buddha and yourself as Buddha, do you visualize them as a completely perfect Buddha or as the potential to be a Buddha? And please explain. Thank you so much.
So if you can completely perfectly Buddha, that is the great. And then if that can't do that, then we just pretending and kind of like mind, visualize that image Buddha and then your mind connecting. So that's also okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sola.
Yes, thank you for the precious teachings, Kempora and Sangha. I have two questions. One is, if I feel more connected to Ramara, for example, Kempora, for example, can I meditate in front of me, inseparable with Shakyamuni Buddha? Kempora is in front of me instead of the statue. Instead of visualizing statue of Buddha, I feel more connected to the image of Kempora. In that case, can I meditate not the statue but
Yes, I understand. Yes. So you visualize that.
Yes.
The person is, you have to think about the form is, the person, but essence is Buddha.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So then you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second question is, Kempo Sando Rinpoche says, nature, on the secret level, nature mind to nature mind, bless. Kempora's mentioned about bless. Could you kindly enough to say, I missed the part of bless.
Okay.
Would you kindly
Yes,
enough?
it's, when you meditate, so it's then this we cannot say everyone has a bliss. Bliss is not just coming, like you just meditate, like this high level meditator has bliss, is joy, peace, like they have a really special feeling beyond our words. So that is offering.
I'm so sorry. Would you
so bliss is when we meditate, we think the first level beginners don't have that bliss, but we have a more peace, like kind of a relaxed joy. But then the higher level meditator, they get blessed, means that there's something special feeling is beyond our words. So that is the use for offerings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So the last question, Sonia, please.
Thank you so much, Kempo. Kempo, you said that when your loved one is suffering, we can visualize that person as a Buddha and meditate. And can we also visualize light rays on that person, and that helps her remove obstacles? Is that the way? And we just don't visualize anything for us, but we visualize just for that person. Is that so? Please, can you?
Yes, that's if you have ability to do, and you can do yourself and others too, and then or you just thinking about the other is transformed to Buddha. So that's either way is okay, but of course great is you can do yourself and other also Buddha.
Thank you, Kempo.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so now we finish, right? Lisa, you have a question again, or?
Just a quick one that kind of relates to what Sonia just asked. But when like our loved ones are passing away or they're facing obstacles and we're visualizing them as Buddha and we're praying and practicing puja, what if we know that they don't really want that or wouldn't like it? Aren't we really imposing our will and our desire on them? Couldn't it, if we do something that's against another person's will, couldn't we actually make things worse?
No, against that. They're actually, their minds, they're Buddha, but they don't recognize it. You're helping them because their mind is Buddha.
Well, I mean, I asked because I do know some people that like if they were,
Oh,
if they found out I was doing that, they would get very mad at me. It wouldn't make things better.
The Lisa, that part you don't have to ask.
Okay.
And, you just doing your mentality, you're practicing benefit, dedicating. Like you can do dedication, pray for them, but you don't have to ask, can you do or not.
Okay, thank you for asking. Let me ask another question.
But the point is when you visualize means when you think about that person right away, then visualize the Buddha.
Yes.
The percept is a change to bring the mind is, Buddha. So that helps become you habituate often and often. When you have any like negative feeling arise, right away they visualize Buddha. So that is more this Yedam deity practitioners, this negative everything is transformed.
So it's just as much to benefit us as it is them then?
Yeah, both.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
when you will do that, you really no need to think, okay, it's really benefit me or others. Just do that, then see what happens. When sun shines, we know the won't. But the sun shines, maybe hit there or not, we don't have to think.
Thank you, Kempo.
Okay, thank you.